What up guys, Live Adventurously checking in. Nice to meet you. So today we're going to talk about, is your ego keeping you broke? Yep, stop right there. Yep. It's an accountability episode. And before you turn this off and go look at cat videos, I got you. That's your ego right there. That's your ego right there. The minute we start talking about things as essential as your ego, you want to change the channel. We talk about traveling, how to get rich fast, and all this funny stuff. You all in. That's your ego, right? So, is your ego keeping you broke? Let's define ego. Ego is a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. So, with that being said, when certain things arrive, your self-esteem and your self-importance is going to kick in, causing you to either do or not to do. And this could be potentially holding you back from making the money you want to make, traveling, going exploring, adventures, the things that you really want to do. The reason you aren't doing these things is due to your ego. That same thing that almost made you click on the cat video is your ego. So we're going to break it down, get you where you need to be, and help you get your ego and self-esteem in check, aligned, so you get your money up.
All right, guys, so let's look at ego from a psychoanalysis standpoint, which means the mind that meditates between the conscious and the unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity. So maybe you're the one that's holding yourself back from taking that trip or buying that piece of property or doing something that you've always wanted to do, but in the back of your mind, you feel like you're not good enough or you don't deserve this, or your family or friends wouldn't be proud of you if you did this, or they'd be jealous. So that's holding you back. So let's look at this from two different standpoints. We're gonna look at it from personal development and also personal finance.
So from a personal development standpoint, ego can help you grow, but also ego can stump your growth, right? You feel that you're too good to do this, you feel like you're too good to do that, or you feel like you aren't worthy to do this, you aren't worthy to do that. And also, from a personal finance standpoint, ego can have you feel like that job is not the right job for me because I'm not worthy. That job is not the job for me. I got a college degree. Why would I drive Uber? You see what we're trying to say here? So, this is how ego can be used from a personal finance standpoint as well as a personal development standpoint. And is your ego holding you back from making the money you want to make? Think about that, guys.
So picture this. You make a standard $50K a year at your day job. 5 days a week, you have benefits, you have dental, vision, whatever it may be. But maybe your ego is hindering you from, getting a secondary job or a part-time job such as Uber, or maybe you need to mow lawns or rake leaves, maybe wash cars on the side. What is stopping you from doing something like that? It could be your ego. Because you could be making an additional $10,000 to $20,000 a year and putting that aside into a savings account, or what we would like to do with that money, we would like to invest it maybe into an asset such as putting a down payment on a house that you rent out. Or also you could invest it into stocks or a 401k plan, or also a Roth or traditional IRA. You could take a portion of that $10,000 and invest up to $6,500 into your Roth IRA, which over time can gross into $1 million or $2 million with compound interest over the course of so many years. So what is actually hindering you from making an additional 10K or 20K? You have to look at yourself, take a strong look in the mirror and say, am I preventing myself from making this much money because of my ego?
10K, guys, 10K. 10K. Is your self-esteem, your ego, worth 10K? And if you do that over, let's say a 10-year period, that's $100,000 that you have extra to invest into your future self, right? 10K. You take that 10K and also invest in a skill, right? Then you can add on to your standard job that you have that can then potentially make you more money at your standard job. So think about that, guys. Your ego potentially is holding you down for making extra 10 to 20K a year just because you feel like you're above something, just because you have a college degree or just because you have a standard job, 9 to 5, so on and so forth. But that's preventing you from making extra 10K, guys. 10K.
So we just talked about how you can lose money with an ego. Let's talk about how you can spend an exponential amount of money because of your ego. And that's mainly because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. And that's an old saying, but that just means that you are spending money to be like someone else, or you want to live a lavish lifestyle, and maybe your bank account doesn't actually allow you to do that, but you go through any possible way to keep up with your neighbor or your friends or a cousin or whoever you see out in public. Maybe you're trying to impress a girl, or maybe you're trying to impress a guy. Whatever you're doing is you're spending a lot of money to be someone who you're really not, and living way above your financial means. And say you buy a Rolex. You can't afford a Rolex, but you're trying to be flashy in the club. Say you're throwing money. You're spending money on bottle service.
Setting it on fire.
Setting it on fire. Throwing it out the window. Throwing it off the boat like Kodak Black. You may be just wasting money just to impress someone and just to keep up with the Joneses. You gotta cool it, because that is your ego taking control of your life, and now you're just wasting money for people who probably don't care about you at all.
Wise words from a great young man named Bartholomew Simpson. Cool your jets, man. Cool your jets. So guys, now you understand how your ego can help you and how your ego can essentially put you in a place where you can't afford it, right? You can't afford to have an ego like this, or you can't afford to have an ego like this, but you're just being very passive towards the situation. So what should you do? We're gonna provide you a solution. So first solution is stick to your plan. You should have your own personal plan, whether it be financial, career plan, whatever it is, and stick to it. You should look at it daily, at least once a week, and stick to your plan. Stick to your desires, have your goals in mind, and go after it. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. I'm gonna say a track term here. Run your own race. Keep your blinders on. You'll know what's going on over here. You'll know what's going on over there. Just run your own race. And trust me, when you cross that finish line, you'll be very happy with yourself. So, solution 1, stick to your plan.
Solution 2, don't leave any financial opportunity on the table. So, wrapping it back around, maybe you can drive Uber, maybe you can mow lawns or wash cars or pick up a part-time job. Maybe you have a little bit of extra free time where you can make a little bit of extra income. Make sure you're doing it. Now, we're not saying compromise your mental health or even your moral compass, but make sure you're doing anything and everything you can to make a little bit of extra money for an investment account, a savings account, an emergency rainy day fund. Make sure you're prepared for any circumstances if you can and are able to do so.
Leave no money on the table. Leave no money on the table. Gotta catch them all like Pokemon. Leave no money on the table. Solution number 3, be willing to listen to others. Just the fact that you made it to the very end of this video shows that you got your ego in check and you want to get better and you want to improve. We ain't sway, we ain't got all the answers, but you just listen to us and taking this advice with a grain of salt and potentially go out there and apply it today, you're already at solution 3. So be willing to listen to others, seek advice from an elder, a mentor, whoever it may be, but don't just write everybody off, because no one knows everything. No one knows everything, so be willing to listen to others.
And also, please know, just because they don't make as much money as you does not mean they don't have wisdom and discernment to get you through a certain situation. Your total income, net worth does not necessarily mean you're better or more knowledgeable than another person. So make sure you're willing to listen to all sides of the spectrum to come up with a concise consensus to make it towards your goals.
Well said, my brother. With that being said, we're gonna close out. Live adventurously. The world is yours.